Now, ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer back during Star Wars Celebration over in Chicago, it left a lot of people wanting to see more footage and related content to Episode 9 that'll actually provide new views of the movie and exactly what vision J.J. Abrams is aiming for the final installment of the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is going to be used in a way not just to end the sequel trilogy, but to also end the entire Skywalker saga. Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ, and crew are essentially treating this movie as if it's a sequel to the past 8 films, which really is the culmination of the entire Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and what's really intriguing is all to do with shot descriptions of the upcoming teaser trailer and/or trailer that will debut over at San Diego Comic-Con this July of 2019. Now, specifically shot descriptions consisting of Kylo Ren wielding an ignited lightsaber, where it said that he is surrounded by dozens of Resistance fighters and pirates that are around him in a circular formation. It's described to be a piece of scenery that one would expect to see out of the Matrix films, where Kylo is said to suddenly perform many backflips and unique fighting moves, with his lightsaber eventually jumping out of the fighters surrounding him and slaughtering them one by one in a fast-paced fashion. It's described that some of the slow-motion techniques are used for the shots in order to dramatize the moment for Kylo Ren. The next goes over Rey using her ignited lightsaber and running toward 2 Knights of Ren, firing large blaster rifles at her, where it's described that Kylo is standing in the middle with the 2 Knights firing multiple shots at Rey, with her deflecting them on a desert world that is said to be the world of Pasana. Rey is said to be wearing a white hood over her white outfit in the shot, looking very much like a Jedi during the action-packed moment for the upcoming trailer. Another provides a glimpse of Kylo Ren holding Darth Vader's melted helmet in both of his hands, while sitting on his throne in his throne room, and eventually resting his head against the helmet as if Kylo has failed Vader. The shot is described to be a profile view where Kylo appears to be upset about something. In the background, through a large window, is seen a space battle with a series of explosions that are witnessed, indicating that this takes place in the 3rd act of the film. Lastly, a description of Luke Skywalker in a black cloak with no sign of R2-D2, where he is described to be heading toward a village of some kind. This most likely is in the form of a flashback for the 2nd act of Episode 9. So I want to go over a couple of things here. Now, first things first, the one that really stands out to me the most is, of course, how they are using the slow motion techniques once again. Now, I don't know how I really feel about this, guys. I will be honest with you. When we look at the old Republic video game, you know, if you guys go ahead and look at the cutscenes, it 100% works. It does. It does work in those sequences. It works fine. But as far as everything happening on film goes, I'm starting to wonder exactly what this is all going to look like. And of course, we got a little glimpse and or a tease of this whole entire technique in The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson, where, you know, Luke Skywalker dodges Kylo Ren's move, and that's when we see the slow motion effect, you know, happen in that sequence. So basically, J.J. Abrams is expanding off of that idea by Rian Johnson. Now, like I say, slow motion sequences can work, and that's exactly why, you know, it's going to be very much like The Matrix. It's going to have a lot of those slow motion moments. It's going to be very fast paced, then going back to slow motion. So this seems like something that J.J. Abrams would do in order to evolve what Rian Johnson already implemented in the film. And looking at everything here, when we think about the actual movie itself, you know, we do know that this movie really is going to deliver when it comes to all of the different action scenes and all of the different ways that they are going to utilize the characters of Kylo and Rey. Now, let's take a moment to focus on the Knights of Ren. Now, what's really exciting about all of this is that this basically tells us that we are going to have a moment in which Rey goes up against the Knights of Ren, at least where they are firing their blasters at her, where she's able to deflect all the blaster fire one by one. Now, in case you guys did not know, there are going to be 2 Knights of Ren in this movie that act as a duo. So basically, there are 2 Knights of Ren that work together as a team. As a team, of course, you know, with both of these large blaster rifles together, where they are able to take down all of the different characters that we will see in this movie, such as the village slaughter scene that is planned for this film, as well as this particular sequence in which the Knights of Ren will be going up against Rey at some point in time in the 2nd act of the movie on the world of Pasana. So we do know that the Knights of Ren and Kylo Ren are eventually going to travel to this desert world, which we, eventually assumed it was going to be maybe Tatooine, Jakku, or something around those lines. Now keep in mind that Tatooine is going to show up in this movie in some way, shape, or form, most likely in the third act of the film, both in the form of a flash fight and or the ending sequence of episode 9. Now, we do know that the Lars homestead was used for this movie, so that's a major indicator there as well. So the other piece that I also want to touch on that really stands out to me a lot is the shot of Luke Skywalker where he's actually not seen with R2-D2 and approaching a village of some kind in his black cloak, the same exact cloak that we saw at the very end of The Last Jedi. Now this basically tells us that this is indeed a flashback sequence in which we're learning more about Luke's past and exactly where he's been and the types of missions that he actually went on in between the events of the originals and the sequels. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.